Jim Farley just said, Ford would rival Tesla if we were producing enough EVs. Now, I don't know about you, but I just read this comment and I couldn't help but laugh. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you here from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome to the channel, you new subscribers. Awesome to see you. Welcome back, everyone else. Thank you to those of you who have jumped on our Patreon link in the description below and supported the channel. It's great to have you here. Great to have you on board. It means a lot to me, means a lot to the guys that work as part of the Electric Viking team. The Electric just reported recently that Ford CEO Jim Farley made an interesting comment that highlighted just how the perception of Tesla has massively shifted in the auto industry over the last few years. I'm going to share with you what the Electric's article said, and I'm going to give you my take on if I think it's legit or what I think, how we should read into this, I should say. It was just a few years ago that the consensus about Tesla amongst leaders at legacy automakers was that the company is great at making a small number of expensive electric vehicles, and it's going to stay that way. Now, I'm going to just have to interject here because I'm not so sure about that. I've read so many negative comments from GM, Ford, Volkswagen, Mercedes, BMW, the CEOs, Stellantis, Carlos Tavares, all these other people, really criticizing Tesla. Their build quality is poor, their this is poor, they don't do their golf carts, So I'm not sure this comment is correct, that Legacy Auto acknowledged that Tesla was great at making a few expensive electric vehicles. I think more like the automotive journalists acknowledge that. Automotive journalists like Car and Driver and other US publications actually gave Tesla awards and said that they were great. But Legacy Auto, I don't remember them saying that. Not a lot of people believe that Tesla could become a major automaker and achieve an annualized production rate of over 1 million electric vehicles. But that's exactly what it achieved last quarter. In fact, the insane thing that they achieved last quarter that pretty much no one is really mentioning is they came to a run rate in December of last year of 850,000 EVs coming from one single factory in China. 850,000. That would make it the world's largest electric vehicle plant, but not only the world's largest electric vehicle plant, the world's largest vehicle plant. That's insane that they did that in, just over a year. Now, no one is better at producing electric vehicles in volume than Tesla, and it's the traditional automakers who are trying to catch up, sort of. This has become even more evident in the last year with the serious supply chain issues affecting the automotive industry. Tesla was able to grow significantly while most automakers struggled. Now, in addition, I want to point out, BYD was able to grow significantly, so were a number of other Chinese automotive EV startups. GM delivered only a couple of electric vehicles last quarter, while Ford just had to shut down production lines for its Mustang Mach E last week. I didn't bring that story to you because it made me sad, and I didn't want to make you sad too. But they did. Currently, the Mustang Mach E is Ford's only all-electric vehicle right now due to supply chain issues. So as of, last week, General Motors has shut down and mothballed its EV factory, producing the Bolt and the Bolt EUV. And Ford had to shut down their factory as well. So that's sad. That's double sad. During its Q4 earnings report, CEO Jim Farley made an interesting statement that highlighted Tesla's lead in electric vehicle manufacturing. This is in addition to our battery sourcing in China and Europe. We are well on our way to achieve at least a 40% mix of electric vehicles by 2030. Not good enough, Ford. 40% by 2030. You know what that means? Bankruptcy. Or close to it, or bailouts from the US government. Jimbo, mate, come on. We need to do better than 40%. Minimum 70, my friend. Minimum. You need to be talking, set your goals higher. Reach for the moon. If you get halfway, that could be enough. Anyway, he said, with strong margins and equal to our higher market share in the key high profit, high volume segments we compete. For example, the Ford F-150 Lightning. If we had full production today to meet our current demand, we would rival the Model Y as the leading electric vehicle nameplate in the US market. As you guys know, I have given Jim Farley a lot of credit lately. But what? I mean, if we were Tesla, we would be Tesla? What? That's what he's saying. I mean, come on. The CEO says that if Ford was able to produce as many Ford F-150 Lightning pickups as Tesla is producing Model Ys, it would be able to sell as many. Well, you could say the same for, 20 different vehicles globally, couldn't you? This is in contrast to a few years ago when legacy automakers don't believe in demand for electric vehicles and didn't think that the issue would actually be the ability to manufacture them in high enough volume. And it is. Tesla fanboys. Yeah. At least, Tesla fanboys knew that was the reality. Toyota fanboys, head in sand. They still deny the fact that you cannot just suddenly wake up tomorrow and pivot your company. I'm seeing these comments constantly. Wow. Just ad nauseum everywhere. Toyota fanboys literally believe Toyota can, in the space of 12 months, just pivot their entire enormous behemoth of a company to being all electric. It's not going to happen. It doesn't happen in 12 months. It takes many, many years. The electrics take, they say. This is kind of wild for people who have been following closely for a long time. Here, Ford is basically saying, as many EVs as Tesla if we were producing as many. I would also be a billionaire if I had $1 billion. Very true. Thanks, Fred. That's true. But I think he's probably right. Ford could sell as many F-150 Lightning pickups as Tesla sells Model Ys in the US right now. I agree. And we're not talking about competing vehicles. Here, since one is a small or mid-sized SUV and the other a pickup truck, but we are talking about popular electric vehicles. However, Tesla is still growing the Model Y in the US, while Ford is establishing production of the F-150 Lightning for a start later this year. Tesla is starting production of the Model Y at Gigafactory, Texas. And of course, they already produce it in 3 other locations. Very important. 3 other locations. Fremont, Germany, and China. So, there's that. Now, Fred says that he likes Ford's acceleration of its EV production plan and going from just some Mustang Mach-E's right now to 600,000 electric vehicles in total number by the end of next year would be an impressive result. And I agree with that. But I still think that Ford is wrong in aiming for a 40% electric vehicle mix in 2030. They are. That's mental. The Electric says they think the company will have a hard time finding people to buy the other 60% of its vehicles. And I think that's stating the obvious. It's like saying what Jim Farley said about they can produce as many electric cars. They can sell as many electric cars as F-150s as Tesla if they were building them, which they're not. The most liked comment on this article was from Smith John, and he said, and if my mother had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, then every day would be un de Donkfest. Dwight K. Schrute. Now, Chow Meow said, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Okay. In other news, if I could produce as many electric vehicles as Tesla, I would rival them too. So yeah, that goes for me too. If I personally could make as many vehicles as Tesla, I would rival Tesla. Maybe. I don't know if that's true. Here's one thing I want to share with you. When Elon Musk said that manufacturing was Tesla's new moat, he wasn't kidding, was he? The problem that Jim and Herbert Diess have, and other vocal competing CEOs, is that by the time they get their factories and batteries and chips, Tesla will be at 3 million units, or potentially more, per year. So this statement here is essentially accepting their mistake without accepting their mistake.